Do you want to learn how to make soil blocks? Today I'm going to show you how. The first thing you need is a strong growing medium. Unlike plastic trays where the structure doesn't matter too much because it's all supported by plastic, the soil block needs to be able to stand on its own. So to do that, I'm using coco coir that I've moisturized. This coco coir is going to form the bulk of my growing medium, but I'm also going to add a couple other things. Blood meal for nitrogen, bone meal for phosphorus and calcium, and some perlite just to give added structure and help with moisture retainment. If you've never seen a soil blocker, I've got two different kinds. I've got this little miniature 3/4 inch one, and then a larger 2-inch blocker. Today I'm going to be using the 2-inch blocker. Other things I have on hand are a bucket of water, just in case I need a little more moisture, a knife to scrape off excess material, and then just a lunch tray. That's what I put the blocks on, and I love this because it's got a little lip. It keeps the water in, so I can just pour water into this lunch tray and the blocks that need it will soak it up. It's the end of August and I'm getting ready for my fall garden. So today I'm going to be planting some purple top white globe turnips, some bok choy, Chinese cabbage, and some Savoy cabbage. I have yet to grow a satisfactory crop of cabbage, so I got a lot riding on this. I've got the coco coir hydrated, and I'm actually going to mix it with an old batch that I already did. So I have a little bit of dry stuff in here. I'm just going to mix them all together. Yeah, I've got that mixed together. The next thing I'm going to add is my perlite. I don't have a very precise recipe. I'm just kind of eyeballing things here. Okay, that's 4 handfuls. Let's see how 4 handfuls does. I'm pretty happy with that. Let's go with it. Next thing I'm going to add bone meal. Again, not very precise. I'm just sprinkling on top, and keep in mind this doesn't have to be for a long-term solution. This is just going to be for a week or two while the seedlings get started. There's our bone meal. Now I'm going to add some blood meal, roughly the same, a large handful. Then I'll mix it together. Okay, that's all mixed together. Let's talk hydration. So what are you looking for? You want it moist. You want it to be able to hold its shape, but you don't want it dripping a lot of water. So if you pick some up in your hand and squeeze it, you can see that I'm getting some drops. That's okay. I'm happy with that. Now I'm going to put my mini soil blocker away. I'm not going to use that. I'm going to use this big 2-inch soil blocker. And to start, I'm just going to fluff my mix up a little bit, and then I'll just make sure the holes get filled. You can rock it back and forth. Let's see what that looks like. That's pretty full, but what I like to do is just manually take some and kind of squish it into the bottom, just to make sure it's really compact. And then to make sure it sits evenly, I'm going to take my knife and just scrape off the excess. So now it's pretty flat. I'll take that over to my tray, and while pushing down on the soil blocker, I'll pull this lever up, and voila, I've got 4 soil blocks. Let's do it again. All right, so it took me about 5 minutes to make 32 blocks. You can see each one has a little divot inside, and into that little divot, I'm going to place my seeds. I'm going to start off with the turnips, and in each one I'll aim for about 2 or 3 seeds per divot. Oops, that one got like 7. Turnips are okay though. They make a great multi-sow option. Okay, so this whole tray is just going to be turnips. All right, next I'm going to do cabbage. This is the Chinese cabbage, the Hilton variety. And with this one, can't really multi-sow it, so I really am going to try to get just 1 or 2 seeds per divot. Okay, so these 2 rows are going to be Chinese cabbage. Then we're going to do winter choy, Chinese yellow heart. All right, these 2 rows are bok choy. Now I'm going with Savoy, this last row. I love cabbage, and unfortunately, where I live in Utah, there's very short cool seasons. We'll jump into spring, and then the next thing you know, it's summertime, summer temperatures. So if I can grow nothing else, but I can get a crop of cabbage, I would be a happy man. The last thing I'm going to do is label these so I don't forget which is which. The last thing I'm going to do now that I've got them all seated is we're going to fill in these divots with just a little extra medium. I'm just going to get a fistful, sprinkle a little bit on top, and then I'll gently press that into place. Okay, one final press. You keep these moist, check them once a day, keep them moist, and then once they've emerged, put some light on them, whether it's natural or artificial. If this video is helpful, feel free to subscribe. I'll make a video in a couple weeks of me putting these in the ground, and I hope you have a great day.